In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your digital stamp card. What you're going to do is go to cards, and then you're going to scroll down and you're greeted with two options. You can either start with a template or start from scratch. Now, for this example, we're going to start with a template. Now, here you have over 100 designs to choose from, depending on your business. We're going to start with this one here. Now, we're going to select stamps and then press continue. The first section we're going to go to is settings. Now, this just helps us set up the core mechanics of the card. Now, barcode type, you can choose QR code or PDF. This can be a preference based on style. Now, if you have a phone or a scanner that's not the clearest, a QR code is recommended as it's easier to pick up. Now, the reward program, you can base it on giving stamps based on your own rewards or spend or visit. Now, if you want to use by products, this only works if you use Toast POS. So most people are either going to use visit or spend. Now, if you want, you could just stick with stamps and give them based on what you want. Because, for example, if you did visit and you did one, but you wanted to then give them something else, it won't allow you to do it because you've already given them one for that day. And for example, if you've done spend and you said, I'm going to give one stamp for every £10 they spend, what you're going to have to do is when you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to have to limit the amount of stamps they can get per day, which will be one. So this will mean that a customer who comes in and spends £100 doesn't end up getting 10 stamps. Or we can just keep it as this. So hopefully that makes that bit clear on how you do that. Now, how do you want to reward your customer? This is the reward that will be available for the customer once they've collected all their stamps. So what you'll do is you can say a free coffee, and then we're going to say the absolute value. So we could say, all right, we know that that costs us $1. Now, this is not what's seen to the customer. This is in the back end for us to make sure we can calculate how much we're giving out, and we're able to have an idea on how well our rewards program is doing. So this is information that we recommend you putting in because it helps you collect data for the business. Or you can just have custom here if you'd rather not. Now, promotions is another video we're going to do, which is a new feature that allows you to put promotions on top of the card. So for example, if you have a offer in your store that you want to actually share with everyone who has a loyalty card, you're able to do that, and it will overlay on top of the loyalty card in their wallet so they can see the promotion too. Also with a new photo and a timer, or you could limit it to a certain amount. That will be done in another video, but again, it's optional and not what we need to add right away. Now, card expiration, we usually say keep it as unlimited, because if you change it, once that expiration date is due, that customer would have to reinstall that card again, which could be a hassle. So we recommend keeping it as unlimited. Stamp life, again, many like to keep it unlimited, but if you like, you can change it and maybe say 1 year. After each stamp has been given, they have 1 year on each one. And then if they haven't completed it within that time frame, they will eventually start losing them. So 1 year is usually common when businesses do that. Locations, this is where you're able to add locations where this loyalty card is associated with. Depending on your plan, you may have access to 1 or up to 10. Now, when we scroll down, purchase amount when charging, this section here is what allows you to have your staff have to enter the amount that customer has spent when redeeming or collecting any stamps. So this is good if you want to keep track on how much each customer is spending and how much money is coming in through people who have a loyalty program or part of your loyalty program. So it just helps you collect the data and see how well it's doing, see your retention, and it's something that we do recommend you collect. Now, the card issuing form, this allows you to collect as much information or as little as you want. Now, you can add fields, you can change the field type to text, and you can enter your own custom field here. You can have date of birth where you can collect information, so you can give someone a birthday gift, and you can collect email, phone, etc. Now, you don't have to have all of these fields required. You can make most of them optional, but you have to have at least one unique field, which means a customer can't just keep on adding a loyalty card with the same information. So it helps you track whose card goes to who, and then if a customer needs to add it again, we can associate it with that phone number and send them their unique link. Now, most customers don't like to give too much information, so we only advise that you collect information that you need Anything that you really don't need, you may not need their last name, you can delete it, and then you can make it as short as possible. And now for customers who may not want to give you any information, you can make only phone number or email required. So you can tell the customer, okay, we don't need to collect all your information. All we need is your email, and that's it. So that will allow you to get the unique information, and the rest they can keep blank. So customers who are more sensitive to giving information can still sign up without giving away too much information. And the ones who don't mind giving it to you, you collect it also. Now, when you get to UTM allows you to track different ways people are signing up to your program. So for example, we could say Facebook, and then you can create that link. And what happens is you get a QR code and a link here that you can share on Facebook. And then you can see how many people are signing up through that method. Or you can have shop, and then you can have this one in your shop and download that QR code to add to the post on your shop. And you can see which methods are working most and which ones to double down on. And if you want to, you could create ones specifically for your staff. And then you can see how many people are signing up from people who are sharing their unique QR code and link to customers. And then you can create incentives to see who's bringing the most people into the loyalty program and reward them that way also. Now, when it comes to privacy policies, we already have ours already available for you to use. That's already there. But if you like to, you can add your own to make it suit your business. And then when we got here, we have the Google Wallet installation link. We'll keep that. So people with a Google Wallet can actually add your card to their phone. The PWA, that is used for customers who may not have a Google Wallet. Now, they're able to add the loyalty card to their device. Now, sometimes we do advise taking this off because it can cause some confusion if a customer installs it this way and then later adds a Google Wallet and is wondering why it's not on their Google Wallet. So it's optional, but we advise just using Google Wallet just so the customer's not given too many options. Now, limit the number of card issued. This means how many cards are allowed to be installed by other people. So for example, if we limit it to 0, it means we can get as many people signed up to our loyalty program. But if we say 100, it means only 100 people will be able to get this card, and then the link won't work for anyone else. So please be mindful that you don't have this set to 1 and then you just install it once and the card doesn't work. We advise 0 so you can get as much people on board. Now, card installation shared link is basically allowing your customers to share the loyalty program with other people so they can sign up. And if you want to keep it exclusive, you can turn this off as well. Limit the number of stamps. Now, this is very, very, very important. If you have something where you don't want to reward someone per every £10 they spend, so let's say a customer spends £60 and you don't want to give them 6 stamps for that, only 1, you need to make sure you limit it here. Because if not, it will give them 6 stamps and they'll get more stamps than you hoped. So this allows you to just control that and make sure that customers who come back another day or to another branch don't abuse the system. Number of stamps when issuing a card. This is a great feature to allow you to give customers an extra reward for signing up. It helps the customers get on board, feel pretty excited the fact that they're nearly to the end of their card and get a reward. We advise give them 1 or 2 stamps or more just to get them started. That means they'll feel like, you know what, I've already started, I may as well finish. And it's just like a nice incentive to just keep them going. Number of birthday stamps. This is something you can put in here, which will reward them on their birthday, especially if they've given a date of birth. Now, if they haven't given any information on their date of birth, this won't apply. So we do advise, having it there for them to be able to put it in and let them know if a customer decides not to give the date of birth, you can tell them, just let you know, that means we won't be able to automatically give you birthday rewards, but it might be something you can do manually if you decide. So now we're going to design. Stamp count, we can change it to as many as we want. So we can have 4, 10, even up to 30. So you can choose what works best for your business. Now we're going to stick to 10 because why not? And here we have multiple pre-defined stamps that you could use, all preloaded in. And you can play around with it to find ones that suit your business. And if you like, you can have a go at installing your own ones. It could be your own logo and just follow the instructions here. Or if you need any help, just give us a shout and we'll help you with that too. The logo here, this is what you'll select to make sure you change the breakfast part here. And the icon is what's used to change the icon here that will be shown in push notifications. Now here you can also play with the colors. and choose ones that best suit your brand, so you can play around, see what works best, and go from there. Field names, this is again optional for people who are on certain tiers. If you don't have this available, you'll have to upgrade your tier, but this just lets you change the text at the front here, but also change the field, and then you can just say members name. So you can make it pretty cool, and it will show it over there. Now we're going to go to information, which is the back of the card. Here, you're able to just fill in this information here. And once all of this is done, this will be on the back of the card for the customer to see for themselves. And then that way, if they need to remind themselves how the card works, or they just need to just find more information about the program, you can just tell them to just check the back of the card and it will all be there. There are some settings here that you may want to add, which is redeem rewards automatically. We say no, because some customers might want to save up. We have a referral program, and again, that depends on what tier you're on. We have it active here, and you can choose that I want to give award to the customer, or do I want to just give one to the person who referred someone, which you can edit here, and you can choose how much you want to give. And then you can also say when does the person get the bonus. So you can say, do they get the bonus once they've actually installed the card, or do you want to wait until that person's actually visited you and used your service? And once that's happened, then they both get the reward, which, we recommend just so it doesn't get abused. And again, here you can add all your feedback links, your active links, your social media, your website, your booking pages, all through here. And this here is your terms, which again, will input automatically. But if you like to, you can go in and adjust it to make sure it works for you. And again, here you have your issuer information, just so the customer can get in contact with you. Once all of that is done, just press save and preview. You'll have your QR code and link to share with your customers so they can install the card, and you can download the PDF marketing kit to help promote it in store. Now, one thing I must say is when activating a card, we advise to only do that once you're 100% happy. Until then, you can install the card up to 10 times in different devices. So then once it's been installed in 10 devices, it has to be activated. So you do have time to see if there's any changes you want to make, because once you activate it, there's some things that can't be changed. For example, you won't be able to change the issuing form. So if you press activate, you can see here, you won't be able to change the card type, the loyalty program terms, card expiration date, or issuing form details. So please make sure that you're 100% happy with everything here before activating. And don't worry, you can still install the card even if you haven't activated it. So don't feel pressured to. So now when we go back to cards, we can see the card that we made here. And if you need to go back to actually get any of that information again, you can click it and it will all be here. And then when you're ready to activate, just go down here and just press activate and you'll be ready to go. Well, thank you very much for following the instructions on how to create a stamp card. If you need any help, just get in touch and good luck.